Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, and welcome into Zelda Speedruns. Today, we've got the Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 4 tournament. This is a round-robin race between FeatherBlade and Whalefins. Tracking today, we have Lotta Chiamaka and Maybe Tomaltalk, and commentating alongside me is Pippi. How are you, Pippi? Aside from, surviving the winter storm.
I'm cold, but I'm cozying up with my coffee and my blanket and my Skyward Sword Randomizer.
That's always good. I did some shuffling for an hour earlier today before it turned sleet, and now I'm doing Skyward Sword stuff, so should be a fun race. This group has really moved in getting their races done. I want to look at the records.
Yeah, I saw that there was so many the past couple
This is actually the
days.
final race for both of them. They are both 0-2. So both FeatherBlade and Whalefins are not going to move on from their group, but this is kind of the final consolation race. Group D has only one race left. They moved very quickly to schedule. So I would say Whale is pretty solidly favored this race, but it's randomizer. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I do also, one of the really interesting things I think about a lot of the recent pairings has been FeatherBlade and Whalefins have pretty different playstyles. So I feel like this could be a seed that favors one person's playstyle or the other, which could make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I have not watched a lot of FeatherBlade. I feel like both of these runners don't do a ton of back in time, but maybe that's wrong.
FeatherBlade, it doesn't do a ton of back in time, but I do believe is a bit more experimental than Whalefins is. Whalefins tends to be pretty aggressive about following logic, and sort of staying with it. Okay, Skyview, Earth Temple, Sandship.
This is not going to be a heavy back in time seed. And our barons are Flooded Faron Woods, Volcano Summit, and Sealed Grounds. We've not... Well, I know what the starting item is because I went into the seed after they started 10 minutes ago, but we haven't actually seen it yet. Oh, yeah, actually we have seen it. It displays.
Oh, you're so right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that can kind of sneak up on you. It's either the first thing you see or you don't notice it and you're like, I'm sorry, is it Spiral Charge?
Yeah. Well, Ballad has also tricked people off.
Yeah.
To squeeze in. Ballad is a common starting item because there's automatically...
That's a very early beetle right there.
Yes. And we are, I think, seeing both runners go a little out of logic here to climb up the volcano. But this makes a lot of sense. It's a pretty straightforward trick to do. You get a hint out of it. And you also... That beetle will actually be pretty useful.
It seems that FeatherBlade has thought better of going out of logic and is taking the in-logic route now, but...
That was power?
What was that?
One Triforce is in linear mine. I think that was power.
I could not see on my screen.
Yeah, so we have hints for all three Triforces. Sometimes they're really useful in the end game. Sometimes you find the Triforces before you get the hints. Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart for Whale to not go further up.
Yeah.
Like, you could get the entrance. That's maybe the one thing. But it's... So... There are 5 Earth Temple key pieces shuffled in the 17 checks in Elden Volcano. And so there are 5 dig spots. It is highly likely that one of the key pieces, at least, is on a dig spot. That looks like maybe a tablet or a Collins letter.
Well, that's
There's
a tablet.
Another tablet.
That's a tablet. I thought that...
The crawl space looked like a... Yeah,
It's a something. Oh, that's a key piece.
It is a key piece.
That's a key piece. That's an ET keepy right there.
From far away, and behind the rock, they kind of look similar.
I, for a second, thought that it was a ancient sea chart, and then I was like, wait, that's in our starting items in these settings.
Yeah. So that Emerald Tablet is nice, although... I mean, for Whale, actually, she can do a lot of Skyview, potentially.
Oh, that's a Tringle. A very
All right.
early Triforce.
Alright, so that is
seems
Boko
to be
base.
no pings in outside Boko base.
Yeah, so now the question is, are Fire Shield Earrings required at all for the seed? We have found a useful item in Boko base. So that is potentially Baron blocking Boko base.
Yes.
We know Volcano Summit's dead. Fire Sanctuary, obviously unrequired. It is entirely possible that the Fire Shield Earrings are just junk and we never see Boko base again. I probably would not go back until you're close to last location, because the 4 things in Upper Boko base are kind of slow.
Oh, that's another beetle. Oh, that's actually really good for whale fins, because having 2 beetles here means that you can skip some stuff that would normally require bombs just to sort of speed up your navigation, which can be really nice. But both of our runners very much holding hands.
Potentially, maybe she goes and gets the cube on the sand slide now.
Yeah.
Because she can.
Oh, those are some gratitude crystals?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also Whale can go ping over and see. Alright, well, she's gonna have to go get that chest.
Yeah.
If that chest isn't dead, though, you can do some fun things with the Hook Beetle. There are a lot of things. If you wanted to,
you could, like, use Hook Beetle, not to do what Whale is doing right now, but to blow up the shortcut rock to Ascent statue. However, since Ascent was our starting statue, it's not super helpful. Yeah. Oh, this is a cute plan. We're bringing a bomb up here so we don't have to run further along the ledge. I like it. It's creative. Considering we have the Hook Beetle. I don't know how much time it saves, but it's neat. I like it.
Yeah. It's a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
That is a bottle, which is nice for your sky routing to have a bottle.
Yes.
Although, from here, you are probably going to have to drink the pumpkin juice, but that's only like a 2-second time loss.
I mean, that also depends on if we are knocking down the chandelier.
That's true.
Both of our runners are having a not fun time with this bone bridge.
I'm going to say this bone bridge is more precise than you realize.
Yes. The bone bridge is quite annoying because it seems like they're also seemingly kind of like trying to curve the shot a little bit so they'll bank into the lava. And that's like super, like, especially if you wanted to get directly into the lava and not just have it sit there waiting for it to explode. That can be super precise for no reason.
Jump, unfortunately, is a little, to this bomb platform, is a little more precise than it looks.
Yeah. Oh,
and yeah. You have to kind of know where the Bomble Wall is. There we go.
We're looking down at it this time.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. FeatherBlade, you got the jump? I believe in you.
Yeah, you have to roll off. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
You have to roll off. Yeah, and so FeatherBlade is probably going to go out and go back in. Oh, wow.
My goodness. So, that's an item there.
That is now, for Whale Fins, going to allow her to go into Earth Temple and clear a lot of it right off the bat. It's not in logic, so maybe she won't. But with the Hook Beetle, you can do a lot of Earth Temple really early on.
I mean, I do have a question for how, because regional key pieces is a rather new setting, so I haven't experimented with it all too much myself, and I'm curious, do cubes count as
They do
inside the region. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a very funny place to
funny,
warp the
standing in
star
the vent.
whalefins.
The hat goes up. I've not seen
Yup.
that before.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to see Whale do... I thought actually she would do the lower two dig spots first.
Yeah, typically... Well, so
Because with Hook Beetle...
It's a little bit of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because since you can't go backwards across the bridge without bombs, you don't have bomb flowers up there. You cannot do it with just Hook Beetle. You can enter backwards, but you would have to kind of make a pit stop in the middle either way to, like, you know,
I guess neither
go
one
back
is
the
super
other way.
fast.
Yeah. Personally, I kind of... I like Whale's routing a bit, in terms of, like, if you wanted to, you could do a death warp back up to the top from the bottom, but also this way you are opening that path in case you want to use it in the future, or you get to hang out with Eldon John and do Eldon out of bounds. That's a choice you could make. I don't think we're gonna make
these
it.
runners are going to do Eldon out of bounds. It is a cool trick that you obviously know from your recent Skyward Sword HD speedrunning.
I've never done it in SD.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's similar, but
yeah,
obviously it's a big trick in HD. Used to be a big one in SD.
It's not a huge time saver in terms of Randomizer because it's only faster if you would not have to, like... or if you would have to go all the way around the little, like, climbing puzzle in the middle of that area. So it has to be you don't have bombs or claw shots. It's like...
Barrenwood's to Scaldera is interesting because that could just be our first projectile. That could also be Bomb Bag. But I think if, in Whale's case, she might now gamble that it is a Bomb Bag. Hold on, that hint cannot be locked behind a projectile. So it has to be something leading to our Bomb Bags in Barrenwoods. Because that hint is projectile locked in the top of the volcano. So it cannot be locked by our first logical projectile.
I believe I watched one of Whalefin's other seeds where she very, very decidedly did not go for bombless Scaldera. So I do wonder if she'll make the same value proposition here and go for Farron Woods before Earth Temple, because we do have that tablet. In the hopes of getting
just don't know bombless Scaldera.
Yes.
Yeah, so FeatherBlade is trying to use the beetle here to scare this Boko away. Oh! Yeah, this is...
The beetle is not a logical decision there. That, like, you know...
It's a little
the way
tricky
that...
with the timing, so... Yeah,
it's also, I believe the beetle is just genuinely inconsistent, which is why it's not considered a logical interaction. If you use a slingshot pellet, obviously that's the intended way to do it. It's perfectly consistent. If you use the bow, it will one-shot it and perfectly consistent. The beetle, it just doesn't respond the same way. It's kind of RNG how the Boko decides to respond to that. And if you get a bad response, then just he isn't stunned long enough, which is
so the goal for this randomizer. I mean, it's you can change it, but for this season, you have 3 required dungeons you have to beat. You have to obtain the harp, which they started with. Yep. You have to obtain 3 pieces of the Triforce. You have to obtain the Master Sword, which is the level 5 sword. And they start with the level 2 sword. Sorry, so they have to find 3 swords. Basically 3 swords, Triforces, and everything you need to beat your dungeons.
Yes. And usually, starting with the harp was a random starting item. Most seeds do not start with the harp, but the harp does, on its own, unlock a couple of checks. So it is in the pool of items that you can randomly start with.
Yeah. I suspect from here what Whale is Farron.
Yeah.
Because she knows that Earth Temple entrance is not in logic. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this. I think she, though, just is going to want to open up this shortcut from the volcano ascent. Not that she's going to ever need to use it, because Volcano Summit's dead, but it's sometimes hard to forget it. Like, it's easy to forget about that.
It's also just a nice way to get to the sky. Like, in the position Whale was in, given where your warped start is, it's not really super, like,
running is not that
save.
far.
Yeah, you would have to wait for a loading screen if you had warped start from there, so it does make sense to just open it up. Why not? You do get to see everybody's bird choices. I love looking at people's loft wings.
Yes. You can, on this version, do random loftwing colors. And yeah, we're going to see a hint, which is Desert to Tennis.
Okay.
I believe that was Linear Desert to Tennis.
I'm gonna believe you because with my sad internet connection sometimes, I watch these streams for commentary at very low resolution.
I mean, they're at a lower resolution, but I'm gonna check. I think, though, we're just gonna see kind of the traditional sky loop of Bamboo Island to Lumpy Pumpkin
yep.
to or do Oriel and Pero.
Yeah, especially since we do have an early bottle, it's really good to be able to get Oriel and Pero out of the way. Did you see what that said? My God. Whale the speed reader over here.
Oh, that was Earth Temple Lava Tunnel.
Oh! Gotcha.
Okay, and yeah, it is Linear Desert to Tennis.
It is choosing to leave now, which isn't a bad call, considering that... So the Sandslide Cube, Whale did go out of her way to go and get, but we don't actually have access to the chest that is unlocked by that cube, so there isn't a whole ton that you're unlocking by doing the rest of the Sandslide, other than the digging checks, which I think she's assuming are probably Earth Temple key piece.
Yeah, and
so
she knows one of them has to be.
Yes.
The other one is not, but she's kind of just gambling. She knows this is all not in logic. Well, no. Yeah, those are not in logic.
Those are not in logic,
Elden Volcano to Girahim 1, that is probably just our Emerald Tower.
Yeah, that's probably the Farron access. I love FeatherBlade's bird. Look how good it looks.
It is nice. That is a nice color.
I love looking at people's loft wings.
Wow.
We have rescuing Oriel. Let's see what Oriel has for us. Nothing! Thank you, Oriel! That's a bluebird feather, yeah. Thank you very much, FeatherBlade, for looking a second time, because I wasn't sure what it was the first time, but now I am. Yeah, and very nice that they don't have to actually bonk down the chandelier, considering that would give them soup. Which is delicious, but not relevant.
Yes. Vermilia will be very sad that they did not get soup. Wrong game, but...
I got mandatory I got mandatory soup and a seed last night. You either love... Oh my goodness! The
And
death
that is
on
gonna
the
send
slope.
her back to Lumpy Pumpkin, I think.
Yeah, that's not too bad. All things considered. Inside the statue
Well,
giving us nothing but money.
you know what, though? That money is pretty useful.
Yep.
Because Beetle's shop is open. Her money smartly, she will be able to check all of Beetle's shop.
That's another 5 gratitude crystals.
That is a lot of gratitude crystals early on.
It is. Unsurprisingly, we see Whale not making a bit magic file.
With these dungeons, does not make much sense.
Yeah, really, like, it technically could pay dividends if you wound up doing bit in Skyview and Earth Temple, but that's really not common. So,
Yeah, I mean, with the items they have, like with the items that they have, they can full clear Skyview right now.
yes.
Not logically, but practically. Oh, Whale is going to be so happy about Tim.
Tim! Oh, my
That is Tim the tumbleweed of infinite merit. Which
What a good
is Whale's
lad.
favorite item.
What a good favorite item to have. Whale also, good idea, seems to be taking this opportunity to do one of our harp-locked checks of item from Colin.
Yeah, there's just not a great time to come and do this later.
Yeah,
And
it's...
so now is, like, having harp early is actually good, because coming
Yeah.
back into Knight Academy,
Oh,
darn a lot of...
FeatherBlade also, thank you for pinging the sky. That checks our spiral charge rocks, and it seems like they weren't pinging. That's good to know.
Yep. I mean, spiral charge, we might never get it.
Also,
we're seeing-
FeatherBlade taking the alternative circuit of Skyloft here, starting in Central, which isn't a terrible idea considering we do have Hera 1 and 2 to cash in on.
Yeah,
And
the reason
nothing.
I like the way Whale is doing it is because you're out of money, and you have a bunch of
Yeah.
checks in Upper Skyloft that cannot be pinged that could give you money, and you really need money right now.
Yeah, it's...
Like, money
can
routing in this
also-
game is not easy.
Oh, more gratitude crystals. Yeah, it can
That gets
also
us
be
to 25 in logic.
an interesting proposition. I know for a lot of, like, you know, very trick-happy top-level runners, it's sometimes, like, a play to do the circuit that FeatherBlade is doing to set up for early Zelda's Closet, because early Zelda's Closet will soft lock you and force you to warp to start. I don't think that's our plan here today. I don't know that either of these runners are particularly excited to do early Zelda's Closet. It's one of those things that, like, if you get it first try, it saves maybe a second and gets you one check out of logic.
Is a scale locked something. I don't know.
Oh?
The two chests are too
Yeah,
close
we
to
don't-
each other, but
We don't know,
either
but
the
we'll
shed
find
chest
out
or the
when...
shed goddess chest.
Yeah.
are
When
pinging.
FeatherBlade does it, we'll see. Oh, that is
Whoa,
more
that is-
gratitude crystals. That is also... We love to see it. Arbitrage?
Yes, and that will, if, as long as Whale does, well, no matter what, Whale is going to be able to buy everything. She just might have to use the discount, which she's going to
It
do
seems,
just
yeah.
to save. Makes a lot of sense if the 200 items have something.
Yeah. To answer the question from chat, Fledge is in these settings, I do believe.
Nope.
No, we took him out.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too many test settings and not enough the actual settings. Oh, sorry, Fledge.
Yeah,
That does
we
also make it way more advantageous that we started with the harp, because usually the things you want to pair item from Colin with are either giving potions to Fledge or like the initial entry where you get wait, Tim.
double Tim.
Double Tim!
And
Pair it with the original entry for this item, Fledge's gift, or giving Fledge his potions, or potentially a couple of other checks that, or things to do that aren't likely to be done in these settings.
yeah, the other thing, so that bow now puts Earth Temple fully in logic.
Yeah.
Because that bow allows you to climb up to get the final take spots and get to the entrance. That is telling us with 100% certainty that Faron Woods to Scaldera path is leading to our bomb bag in some way. Might not be our bomb bag, but it's going to point us to it. Because that's the only logical item you'd need to beat Earth Temple that we don't have.
Yep.
Which I think is going to probably just push Whale to go do Farron. Between being able to full clear Skyview and hopefully get the bomb bag there.
Notably, as Golden mentioned earlier, Skyview is not actually like logical. There's one check in Skyview that's not logical until you have Water Dragon Scale and Digging Mitts, because you can lock yourself out of it if you raise the water level. However, since we do have Digging Mitts, we can get it without locking ourselves out of it, meaning it's very easy to skirt around that. But that does also mean that likely our Water Dragon Scale might be a little earlier in logic, which would be good.
Yeah, I mean, or that it's one check, so it might just be dead.
Yeah, it might just be dead.
There's a 1 in 3 chance. Well, there's a 1 in 3 chance that basically key locks you out of the back half of the dungeon. There's also I forget the number of checks, but there's a chance that it can be your boss key.
Yep. Also, very nice. We have a bit of a divergence here that Whalefins did a out of logic dive, but it is logical. We could go the logical way. But a trick dive down to do Waterfall Cave backwards, and nothing was pinging in there, so she left. And FeatherBlade is staying to go to Betrow.
I don't hate this with this many crystals.
I don't at all either.
Like, if Betrow has claw shots on 5 or 10, that's a big item.
Yeah.
He does not. And this is actually a really nice spawn for Whalefins. Right outside Skyview. That 50 is dead.
Okay, I saw the Bat 50 part. I didn't see what that was. I was like, oh no! Yeah, honestly, if I were in Whale's position, where she had 25 gratitude crystals, it honestly might have been worthwhile to go get 5 loose, just so that you can get Bat 30 out of the way that fast. Oh,
yeah,
second bottle.
It's certainly in logic. That is the play I would have made, but I'm a loose crystal enjoyer, so...
It would be a vibes-based choice to me, because I am a fan of loose crystals, but maybe not as much of an enthusiast as Golden is. But if you add claw shots, you can make it a lot faster. However, it's still not that slow. Like, there's plenty of ways to kind of do, like, part of your Skyloft tread at night, to get some loose crystals. And then also, it is generally smart to set yourself up if there's a good chance you're going to be going back to Betrow, without doing daytime Betrow, essentially, just to actually open up Betrow's door is generally kind of nice, which you can do if you're ending at nighttime.
Yeah.
Also, we have more arbitrage! Arbitrage I am an enthusiast of. I love me some arbitrage.
Tiffy is the #1 fan of arbitrage in the Skyward
I think it's
Randomizer
so
community.
funny. I'll
So,
give
let's
you
see now.
in it. How's that sound?
Yeah, well, she knows she's gonna have to raise the water no matter what to get, so kind of not worrying here. You have to raise one of the 2 water. You don't actually have to raise both. So she's gonna raise this side and get the take spot, and then we'll douse and see, I think.
So here's my question of what are people's takes? What do you think? Would you do Skyview first or greed for bombs first?
I would just do Skyview, because coming back to it is probably going to take you longer than whatever else.
Oh,
All right,
that's
so
a
we
Skyview
are 100% logically scale locked out of beating Skyview.
Also,
kind of
that
the
was
only thing
Shed
that would
Chest.
really...
Real quick, that was Shed Chest and not Goddess Shed Chest. And for other side.
The
Sorry.
one thing that really would make this faster for Whale is not really... I mean, bombs would be a little bit claw shots in Farron.
Yes. See, that's why I think I would greed for bombs, is that, I'll go get bombs, they make things a little bit faster, but I'm actually kind of just greeding for claw shots, because claw shots speed up this dungeon a lot.
Yeah, it's just a question of, like, the time it takes to basically run back and forth.
Yeah.
Are you losing that? I don't know that it's actually faster. And if you don't get claw shots...
Yeah, we have here the forwards route through Waterfall Cave, which Waterfall Cave forwards versus backwards is kind of a gamble that Whale won the gamble today, but some days it goes the other way, that if that top check is pinging, then essentially Whale's routing would have taken her all the way up to the top in order to jump back into the middle, and then you're stuck in the middle and you have to either work to start or you have to
when that happens.
Yeah.
The jump slash off the wall.
Yeah.
It's a very dumb thing that happens on that particular set of vines where you grab onto it and then jump slash anyway.
They didn't fix that in HD. They re-released the game and kept that annoying physics bug.
I mean, it makes me think it maybe was intentional. Or they were lazy.
I assume it was just kind of a quirk of the engine, and they're like, not worth changing.
They left it in just to torture Pippi.
Just for me. I've oddly never had issues with it in my brief amount of time speedrunning HD, but I had issues with it casually. Playing HD. Oh, that's a Tringle!
So we know where all 3 of our Triforces now are now. Yeah, so Wisdom is in Linear Mine.
FeatherBlade also choosing to go into Skyview. It is interesting also, like, because we are logically locked out of Skyview, there could be, like, not immediately helpful stuff here. Like, the Seeds logic does not really expect you to be here yet, so it's kind of a crapshoot. We'll see what we get.
Yeah, I mean, the scale is the one thing. It's kind of just interesting.
Scale is going to be impossible to get in this dungeon because it's scale locked. Yes. So if we're looking for scale, which it would be nice to have, these settings do have quite a few scale lock checks.
Yeah, we don't really have a sense of where scale could be. Like,
Yeah.
potentially it's in Farron because maybe that path is actually... Like, the thing is, the path, the Emerald Tablet could just be for the entrance. It could be for both the entrance and the scale. We just don't really know.
Oh, there's H?
Nice
I'm gonna
chocolate covered
vote...
H, as our friend Jade would say.
I'm gonna vote for, our path to Scaldera was Water Dragon Scale in Farron to get bombs on shed chests. That's my
That
vote.
would be something.
Is it likely?
is Three Eyes-
Absolutely not.
Is Three Eyes dead?
I didn't see the ping. I was watching.
Yeah, like, Bombag makes this dungeon marginally faster too, but there's kind of a trick you need to know how to do.
Yeah, there are a couple things you can sort of speed up with Bombag. It doesn't speed things up very extensively, though.
Yeah.
Water Dragon Scale would have sped this dungeon up quite a bit in general, because Water Dragon Scale also brings us into Skyview 2 instead of Skyview 1, and Skyview 2 has just less things in your way that take up your time.
Yes. You get to skip the One Eyes room. That's really the big thing. And the Stalfos fight.
Yep.
The Stalfos is dead.
The Stalfos is just a chest sitting out that you can ping. Oh. Staldras. Thank you.
Whale,
Staldras.
you can tell. So Whale started playing the randomizer in, I want to say it was late 2022. Before starting with a Hylian shield was a common thing. And so learned a lot of the shieldless strats. And you do see that every so often, that she knows a lot of the shieldless strats. So like the Staldra, you can just shield dash.
I mean, that is also funny, because I always say that's how you tell an any percent runner. Is that, like, I also will do the shieldless strats 100% of the time. I will begrudgingly take out the shield for things like the Stalfos fight is much faster with shield. Oh, another beetle. Fascinating. The Stalfos fight is much faster with shield. Skirvo is faster with shield. Girahim 3 has a phase, H by the way, that's faster with shield. But like, if I can get away with shieldless strats, I will, because my bread and butter is SD any percent, and we don't have a shield in that.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's starting with the Hylian shield was a thing that was introduced after season 2. Like, I don't think it was even available as a starting item. And it was a thing that people like me and Whale and Space Rock kind of advocated for as a quality of life thing.
Yeah, if anybody is not aware, the reason why we have starting with the Hylian shield is because due to the nature of shields in Skyward Sword, they are not considered a progression item by the randomizer. Because you
they
can
can get destroyed.
Yeah, they can get destroyed in most cases, and also you can purchase them. So, oh, that was a cute setup.
Yeah.
Using the bow to center yourself, that was cute. I liked it.
They also, access to a shield did not used to be logically required for any part of the game, and that has been changed.
Yeah.
There are a number of fights now where the game logic requires you to at least have access to buy a shield in the bazaar.
Yeah. But because they are not a progression item, they don't ping, so if we didn't have it as a starting item, it would just be, if you prefer playing with a shield, you'd have to go purchase one, or you'd have to start opening
Get
dead
lucky
checks.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And that's 100 rupees. I think, or is it 50 for a wooden shield? I don't remember.
something
but-
like that.
Yeah, but you then potentially need different levels of shield because you cannot use the wooden shield in Earth Temple, for example.
Yeah,
it just becomes a whole thing, and it was a I was one of the people advocating for it as a quality of life thing at a time when the shield was not required in Logic for a number of things where the fight strategies are really hard without shields.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, you know, you can get through the combat in this game under some pretty wild circumstances. Shout out to, the tracker has a trick called, that you can turn on for trick lots. But you can do some nonsense where you, like, fight the Lizalfos with a bow and stuff like that, but it's kind of a squishy business trying to figure out what is a reasonable level of combat proficiency for an incoming player. And we do try to make Logic sort of cater to a newer player rather than an experienced one.
Yeah. That's true for every randomizer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're now going to see a lot of Faron Woods. We won't see the top of the Great Tree. We might not see the lower Rumble Rock check.
We might see top of Great Tree if we find Water Dragon Scale.
That's true.
Reminder that top of Great Tree requires either the Claw Shots or both Water Dragon Scale and Gust Bellows, and we did just get Gust Bellows.
Yeah, there are two ways to climb the Great Tree, one from inside, one from outside. So I think Whale's going to do this Boko push. She likes doing this trick.
Oh, really? Not for me, but you know what? It works.
I find it a lot easier than the other cube warp because you can see the
Really?
cube behind it. You can see the cube.
That's true, because also you don't have to deal with
a ledge.
Gorko can steal your targeting mid-attempt when you're doing cube warp.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy, like, relatively straightforward trick.
Oh, we're doing the Beetle Peak? Let's see what we got in here. Yeah, no, that peak is a little bit of a mixed bag because there are a decent amount of items in the pool that are too small or too close to the ground to be visible at all. That looks, yeah, there's Colin's letter. There's an archipelago item. But
I've not played Skyward Sword Archipelago.
I haven't in a long time. I want to.
I don't have a great dolphin set up.
I don't either, but we make it work. That was a very clean Staldra kill on Feather's side.
And I think we're going to see a fence hop here for early Lake Floria. There's a hint in Lake Floria, so this is pretty useful.
Yeah, there's also 2 checks that Whale can get. Oh, are we not going? We're not going for it.
Oh, okay.
But there's 2 checks that we can get there at the moment, in addition to a hint and a statue, so that's easier to come back in the future.
So we are not finding our bomb bag. So our bomb bag is either on top of the Great Tree or... Well, it's not in that. It can't be bomb locked. So our bomb bag is probably inside the Great Tree or on top of it.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Or it could be locked behind Colin's letter.
That is actually a good point. I think she's going
Which I think is where Railfins is going.
I think given the path hint, that makes a lot more sense than going out of logic. And again, like, turning in this letter is slow, but there's no good time to come back and do it. And follow your paths. Because it's, you know, out of logic, Lake Floria is not a huge time loss, but like Sealed Grounds is dead.
Yeah,
you might go there to get, like, hints at this point are actually pretty useless this seed too.
Personally, I probably would have H, by the way. I personally would have gone to Floria because, one, knowledge is power. You never know what hint might be good to nudge you in the right direction. And
Yeah.
two, it's 2 very quick checks that also gets you the statue, so it's very quick to come back to
That
consider your sort of retread speed, that you don't have to go all the way over to the Floria doors.
That is fair. At this point, though, right, 2 of your hints are Flooded Faron Woods, Baron.
Yes.
Your Water Dragon's War, that's Baron. One of your hints is your Bat 50 duplicate. One of your hints is
Oh, there's claw shots.
That claw shots are the single most useful item in the game.
Yeah, they sure are. That might be our path too.
Yeah. She's probably going to check Zelda's closet here. And
yeah.
If I were Whale, I would at least go maybe pick up the crystal in Zelda's room. Just because you're already here anyway.
Honestly, from Whale's position, Whale hasn't seen any of the Tro. I don't know if Whale would do the clip, but I'd do 5 loose here. Because with Claw Shots and Beetle, especially Quick Beetle, you can do 5 loose with the Out of Bounds clip, which is very, very quick. And
I would not, only because I feel like I just want to go check the top of the Great Tree and the chest inside the Great Tree, because that is now in logic with Bellows. But 5 loose is not super slow. There's a pretty clean route you get to get 5 loose, and especially because she's gonna have to go to the East Cliff anyway. That gets her 1. So, like, if you're going to do 5 loose, this is a good time to do it, because you can route it in with Goddess Chest, you can route it in with other checks you're doing. So she's going to grab this one, she's going to grab probably Oriel and Pero's house, East Cliff, maybe.
Or, Lake Tower,
Oh, she is not, she did not grab that.
We might be grabbing Lake Tower real quick, because Quick Beetle makes that.
There's the Goddess Chest that pinged that she might have forgotten about already.
Oh no.
Or she's going to grab it after this. Not a huge thing.
And on FeatherBlade side, we have cleaned up our first dungeon. Gotten our vanilla tasty heart container. Very nice.
You don't see those too often.
You much more often see the strict downgrade, where you get, well, I was supposed to get a heart container, but now I have a heart piece. Thank you.
Yeah, that,
Oh, we're going back for it in daytime.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Maybe we're taking flight from here, because you cannot enter the sky at night. I wish you could.
Well, that's another item.
Nope, we're going back.
In Skyloft. Although, Skyloft Village was not hinted yet. So, Whale can actually full clear Skyloft Village here. She can also go do the item on the bird's nest. And get that hint.
She seems to be taking a think. Which,
yeah.
you know, sometimes you just need a think.
She might just be going back to Faron here and then clearing stuff later.
Yeah, seems.
Yeah, but she can now do a fair amount on Skyloft. Almost full clear Skyloft, other than Betro and she's not gonna have to go into Flooded Faron Woods because it's dead.
I'm waiting for the model pack release of Play as a Boko with included voice pack, where you just do Boko screams every attack. I don't think anybody's working on this.
I don't know if that model is the same size as Link's. That's the tricky
Oh, it would be
thing.
horrifically cursed. It would not look good.
Yeah, there's weird stuff with the model skeletons that has to be done when you do these mods.
Alright, we're going to the top of Great Tree.
as you see, claw shots just are really good for movement.
Real good for movement.
And the worst check in the game has nothing.
Is that your least favorite check?
It's my least favorite check. Because when I started playing Skyward Sword, the number of times I failed the jump, it was just awful.
Is that out of, like, all sanity? That's the worst one?
I mean, in all sanity. Alright, well, there is our amber tablet.
There's our amber tablet. Oh, this trick is being mean to FeatherBlade. Be nicer, please. Oh, there we go!
She wasn't close enough, I think.
Yeah.
Did Whale check
Got the
the
swag
second
cube?
review? I assume she
did.
peeked it.
Did not see, but I'm gonna assume that she did. She did?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, now
Yeah,
I think she's just gonna fly off to Lanayru.
I feel like personally, my bottom check in like reasonable settings, not all sanity, reasonable settings is crown rupees. I hate them.
Oh, I mean, those are awful.
They're terrible.
People wanted to bring them back for this tournament, and I
Ugh.
hard vetoed them. And then did a
crown
siege
rupees.
where I was just
my beloathed.
Anyway, no, I hit that check inside the Great Tree because when I was a noob, I failed the jump many, many times, and the jump down was logically required.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, gonna check this. This is the one wonky goddess chest in the game. You have to get close enough for it to spawn in, essentially. So you can't douse it like you can with all the other ones. I don't know if RoboJumper is still here, but he did a little detective work to figure out some of what was going on.
The TLDR of that story that I was told is, well, it's as if the goddess chest came out of the ground, but it didn't. It poofed into existence. Which... Ooh. Neat. Why? Why? But this is our Flurry of Fence Hop. If you're on, there we go, the right collision, you can get high enough to do that. And perfect, there we go. You just kind of...
Yeah, the jump off at the back end is actually the harder part.
It's very awkward.
Alright, so Lower Bumble is a treasure of some kind. It's dead.
And we've got more gratitude crystals.
So Bat 40 is in logic.
Yeah?
I don't think Whale is going to do it. I don't think it makes sense to do 5 loose. But, worth noting.
That high rupee ledge was nothing. What's our...
Triforce of Curds and Skyview.
Yep. We knew that.
So that's kind of what I was saying, is we're at a point now where 4 of the hints you know are junk.
Oh, but that is double pings here. One of those pings we don't have access to because it is hard locked by scale, but this other one we do have access to because you can just run to it from backwards.
Yeah. I think the most fun randomizer settings are really in the eye of the beholder.
That's true.
Like, it's hard to say what are the most fun.
What is your favorite rando settings? Like, what is your favorite single setting to be included in a set of settings, Golden?
That's a hard one. I play a lot of HD Randomizer, and so some of the entrance randos are pretty fun in that one that we don't have here, and that would be a lot less fun in this rando for various reasons. I like Swordless Start a lot.
Swordless Start is very fun.
We do not do Swordless Start for racing because we tried it. But with Swordless Start, you can't chest douse.
Yeah,
and
people
really hated that.
It makes the finish times of seeds pretty variable. That, like, for settings like this, we can kind of assume that like, it's gonna be somewhere between like 2 and 3 hours on average, which, like, isn't huge in terms of a span. It's like much easier to say like, okay, it'll be a less than 3-hour time block on ZSR to do a restream, as opposed to if if you want to do it with Swordless Star, it's like, well, we could get swords immediately, and then it could be a 2-hour seed, or it could be like a 4-hour seed if we don't get a sword for an hour and a half, you know?
Yeah, the thing about chest dowsing is it just changes a lot with how the game works. I don't really know what else, like, it is a completely different dynamic, and how you structure settings, like, you structure everything in a completely different way if you turn off chest dowsing. The hints are different, everything. And the community likes chest dowsing.
Yeah,
So,
chest dowsing is really good. Personally, I do like a swordless start, or practice sword start is also pretty good. But I just
goddess
really like.
cubes you don't want. All right, so that is an unhinted Baron Betrot's house.
Oh.
Oh no, 40. We haven't seen that.
Oh, you're right. Yep, we're at 35.
Yep. And I think from here, Whale is going to go straight to Lanayru Desert.
But personally, I really like me some trials. Give me like maximum dusk relic amounts. Let me do trial movement. I love trials.
Silent Realms are fun. That was something that was kind of on the cutting room floor, and kind of the last minute, some of the other organizers were like, no, we really want to keep trials in.
Especially because one of the newest features we have for the randomizer this season, on some newer builds, we have the ability to skip the song sequence. So no more harp skip, no more scary skill check in order to save like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
You now
and the
can
harp
just...
playing is just slow. Like,
yeah.
That was the main reason we wanted to get rid of it. Is like every time you have to enter Silent Realm, it's basically like a 2-minute, potential 1 to 2 minute thing.
We
West Desert is a really nice spawn here for Whale.
Yeah.
Because it gets you close to this cube.
And also, love that little cube trick. That's a pretty, like, standard trick, is that you do a jump slash to hit the cube while you're falling, and then void out in the sand so that you don't have to worry about leaving the sand and, like, crawling your way back to main desert from there. You just spawn right back up top. And
yeah, if you're playing this randomizer casually, a very useful trick to know.
Yeah. It seems that also, I like this play from Whale. We're going into caves instead of going into main desert further. This gives us... sense. Yeah. Oh, that was Ballad?
Yeah.
But this gives us a nice little loop. We can go check Gorge real quick, and then loop our way through mines. Oh, and there's Whip.
There's our Whip. So our Lanayru Desert to Tantalus is going to lead to our cave ski, I think.
Probably, yeah.
It has to at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this, like, we are... I mean, bomb bag. But we're really just looking for bomb bag and swords at this point.
Yes.
Because we can get the third Triforce piece in Lanayru Mine. We have a very rough idea of where our bomb bag might be. I mean, I think that Farronwood to Scaldera is stuff pointing towards the Amber Tablet.
Yeah, or just it could generically be pointing to claw shots. We don't really know.
Yeah, but I mean, the nice thing for Whale, right? I see 21 locations accessible. We know the bomb bag is not an Earth Temple with 100% certainty, and so Whale can kind of put off the Earth Temple for a while.
Yeah.
As for your question, do you have to do these races on consoles? You do not. You can do them on Dolphin. There are some specific settings you have to use.
Yeah, going back to what we were saying earlier about removing the... Oh, very nice snipe from Whale. Removing the harp playing segments was also a kind of nicer thing to do for emulator players, because on emulator, one of the roughest things is playing the harp. It tends to desync a lot easier, and not everybody has access to a Nintendo Wii. So, you know, just to even the playing field a little bit, it was also nice to be able to skip the harp playing segments to help out people on emulator. It does seem that FeatherBlade is making a very different choice from Whale, and we are going...
She's gonna go do Earth Temple. I mean, if she knows Bombless Caldera, that's good for her. Like, I don't know that it's gonna necessarily save a lot of time, because at this point, I think Whale can be reasonably confident that she's not gonna need...
Yeah, there's not really any other requirements for Earth Temple other than directly the bomb bag. So...
Yeah, and it can't be something weird like Upper Boko Base, because that is bomb bag lock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like what Whale is doing here, but that's because I'm kind of sitting here understanding the logic of where we are and what we need, and
I think that, like, it's always interesting seeing different people who have very different play styles, you know, because, like, as we have mentioned already, there is a decent degree of, like, our current players are not bit enthusiasts or, like, very out of logic trick heavy players, and coming from the absolute opposite side of the coin of, like, yo, if the trick breaks even on time, I'm gonna do it to amuse myself, type of thing. I personally probably would have done Earth Temple when I got digging mitts. So, well, it's kind of fun. I get to see would I have been punished for that decision. Also, welcome in, Raid Party. Welcome to our Skyward Sword Randomizer match of Whalefins versus FeatherBlade. We are almost exactly an hour in.
Yeah, and we're actually a little over an hour. Yeah, there's our third Triforce piece. Whale probably should just Death Warp out of here.
If there's nothing further. Oh no, there is something further.
So, I was going to say, happy a little over 1 hour.
Yeah.
Please give our runners a follow, FeatherBlade and Whalefins. Huge shout out to Pippi for commentating with me, and thank you to Lotta Chiamaka for tracking. Tomo Talk got held up with Ocarina of Time qualifier. And yeah, Ryukin, Bombless Caldera is not a thing you do without practice.
Bombless Caldera is a really interesting trick because it's not very difficult. Asterisk. It's very scary to a lot of people. And it's scary because you can soft lock, but the actual inputs involved are not very difficult, and it's pretty easy to back yourself up to make sure that you don't soft lock, but you might notice that all of the things I'm saying imply that you absolutely know what you're doing.
And I can tell you, I've seen races where people who know what they're doing fail it a lot. It's also a trick where your level of sword affects the strategy. Yeah. So there are like 4 different versions of it.
Oh, that's another bow.
I would say Salty Kraka Whale is not fairly ahead, but yes.
So
Whale is certainly ahead on checks looked at. I mean, by a pretty
Whale
substantial
is ahead on checks. Because she has done some more check dance. We brought the shoe off the Vent, sorry. She has done some more check dense areas. Oh my goodness, beautiful.
There's
but
another sword.
I was just about to point out, and then it was beautifully handed to me on a platter, that FeatherBlade is ahead by 2 swords right now. They have done very different routing past a certain point that FeatherBlade has gotten 1 sword that is just hiding somewhere about in Lake Floria, and is not in Logic, and also is now doing a dungeon that Whale has not yet done.
Yes.
So they are just in different locations.
Well,
Oh,
there's
Water Dragon Scale.
And that could be telling us that our bomb bag is in Lake Floria now. I mean,
It could be.
our bomb bag basically could be locked by anything that is claw shot. Because claw shots were locked by Colin's letter, and that included Amber Tablet, I think was.
Yep. Amber Tablet, so thus anything in Lanayru could be our path. Our path has gotten quite unhelpful.
And that scale can also be our path to Tennis.
That was very
that is
cute.
a funny.
That was very silly.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's entirely possible, though, that all the swords are here in Earth Temple, and FeatherBlade gets her...
It is probably good for Whale, though, that she found her... Oh, there's the good old slingshot. That she found her Water Dragon Scale. Knowing where the sword is, it might help point Whale in the right direction of getting that sword.
Yeah. She's thinking about how to route all of this.
Yeah. Unfortunately...
You go clockwise, counterclockwise in Lanayru Desert, and you need bombs to do a lot. But you can ping everything.
Bombs really are sort of the linchpin for both of our runners at the moment, of like, because FeatherBlade is doing a bombless ET, you do have to do some things with the hook beetle if you're doing it bombless, which can be quite slow. And Whalefins is gonna hit a couple of dead ends here where we can gather information but not much else, because we can't do the nodes without bombs. Alright, what is our mandatory check? It was Nehru's wisdom contains a beetle that we don't need. That's our tough beetle.
Huh. Yeah, so Whale is actually skipping the Sand Oasis cube, or not the cube, the chest on the wall. It did ping.
Interesting. She seems to be returning. Let's see where we're going.
I mean, she's gonna go back. Okay, she's just, I think, was going back to do it faster. Interestingly, though, she did not go into Lightning Node.
Yeah.
Looked like Fire Node, there was something in the back of it.
Yes. Very nice beetle piloting on FeatherBlade's side. As you can imagine, being a randomizer with motion controls, playing nice with the motion controls is a bit of a skill check, and piloting the beetle tends to be one of the harder things to try to optimize in Skyward Sword Randomizer, because it's like so like wants to desync mid sort of flight, mid route. Especially those ones where you're carrying a bomb, so if you bonk into anything, that bomb is gonna pop. It can be a little dicey, but very nice.
Yeah,
got our 2 bombs
one of
there.
those. Well, I think is thinking about cubes, but I think just rushing to. She's gonna douse some cubes. She knows there's a cube here outside.
Oh, we got something pinging.
Yeah, I think just she's chasing that desert path. She didn't bother going to Lightning Node because she knows Bomb Bag can't be in there.
Yes.
Because everything in there is Bomb Bag locked. There's some information you can get, but she is following the paths pretty closely, which is really not a bad way to play. In a seed like this. Oh yeah, this vine is tricky because if you grab the ledge but not the vine, you have to climb back up and climb down. Now, the bomb bag could be here.
Failures.
Failures contains Din's power possibly required.
So if Din's power is only possibly required, then that means that both of those trials are not going to have the bomb.
Like, yes.
Because despite the fact that you can do bombless Scaldera, like, it's never logical. Bombs are always gonna be...
The worst, quote-unquote, worst-case scenario is that's one sword.
Worst-case scenario is... Oh, right, it would have said one other item. I was
so
gonna say
possibly required
scenario
can be swords, gratitude crystals...
Yeah.
Our third
well,
bow,
not gratitude
our
crystals.
Well, we don't know yet. Because we haven't seen that.
Oh, we haven't seen Bat 40. You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right. We're finally gonna see what's in Shed Chest. Oh, the life tree fruit!
Whole thing here.
Yeah.
But again, it can't be a gratitude crystal pack, I believe. Because if it were, Betrothed House would be barren. But it could be a sword, it could be a bow, it could be not a beetle, slingshot. My guess though is Bat 40 has something. Oh!
Okay.
Hang on.
Fascinating.
How is that?
Pointing at gratitude?
Does that just mean that Claw Shots locked so many... That must mean that Claw Shots locked so many crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be Claw Shots. Just locking so many crystals.
Yo, the other slingshot!
That's the logic. Is Colin's letter, you turned it in, you got the Claw Shots. The Claw Shots open 5 loose, they open crystals in other places. So there's logically no way to get to 40.
Golden, it was just for you.
What, the...
That it was a gratitude crystal path? Excellent.
Yeah. This is one of those things we talked about in another qualifier. You get kind of wonky things where... So, there's or not a qualifier. There's a seed where there is a hard required song. And it was because... But the song, we were talking like the song could lock 2 gratitude crystals, neither of which is hard required, but both of which.
Yeah.
Anyway. Gratitude crystals are weird because there are 13 packs. There are 15 loose, but only 11 of which can be in logic.
Now we have Whale coming to join FeatherBlade in Earth Temple, but Whale does have Bomb Bag, which will make things a little bit quicker for her.
I'd say a lot quicker. Whale,
it
so interestingly,
depends
Whale
quite
did
a
not
bit
do
on the routing.
RBM. Or FeatherBlade did not do the RBM
Yes.
for the lava tunnel. She went through it vanilla. I don't know if Whale does that RBM. It's the one...
In her previous race, she did not.
Yeah. That said, Quick Beetle makes it faster.
What
And
do we need for go mode? We need the location of one more sword.
And Cave's Key.
And we need Cave's Key. We know where our last Tringle is. Do we need anything else?
It's just those 2 things. We need a sword and Cave's Key.
Yep.
And my guess now is Cave's Key is sitting in Lake Florida. or sitting here.
Not a bad guess.
Bomb locked somewhere. Because that, like, linear... Well, no, it can't be bomb locked, I don't think. Because I don't think linear desert could be a path for that.
Can we give a shout out to, on FeatherBlade's side, one of my least favorite pieces of collision in the entire game? There is a little
Sliding
platform on that slidey bit on the edge of the alcove you're supposed to hide in, that FeatherBlade just got stuck in, where you can stay still if you keep running up the wall, but the second that you are not moving forwards, you slide down the slope and then slide down the big slope.
It's a weird quirk. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty painful, but also if you like try to go at an angle, it will not really let you, which is even more evil. So I just have a personal vendetta against that bit of collision, okay? And it's time for D.
So FeatherBlade is going to go for Bombless Scaldera here.
I appreciate the save first.
You have to do it. Like, even if you feel 100% confident.
Oh,
I think you have to do it.
Like, I say this as, like, I'm very, very comfortable with Bombless Scaldera. I'm more comfortable with Bombless Scaldera than I am with Bombful Scaldera. I save before Bombless Scaldera if I'm doing a randomizer. If I'm doing an 80% run, absolutely not. But an 80% run I can reset. I save before Bombless Scaldera in a randomizer. Just not worth it.
Yeah. And this is with Long White Sword.
White Sword.
Yeah. So the basic gist of this is, for the first phase, you have to roll bombs down.
Yes.
From the top for Scaldera to lead them in and die. This is the classic King Dodongo.
Yeah. So the nice thing about Bombless Scaldera that I think makes the trick scarier than it is difficult is that your actual damage patterns don't really matter. As long as when you happen to... That bomb is not going to last far enough. That's fine. But your actual damage patterns do not matter. You can always take on another phase. It's not going to cause a problem in any way.
She picked up the bomb a little early.
Yeah, also, the roll will move the bomb faster than the throw will.
Yeah.
But so once you throw the bomb into Scaldera's mouth, you can just deal damage until he's about to phase transition. And then when you are actually going to, like, do the damage that would phase transition him, you want to do damage to him very quickly, even if it's not efficient damage. You don't want to give him any time to breathe. You want to bully. And as long as you do that every time he's vulnerable, you won't softlock. You're just kind of fine.
There's something with the second... It's the second phase, right, where you softlock, not the first phase.
It's the second phase where you can softlock, but...
FeatherBlade, unfortunately, I don't know how practiced she is.
Yeah.
And my sense is she might be kind of YOLOing this. And that's why I said, like, it's a trick you really have to practice before you do.
FeatherBlade watches this back and is wondering what went wrong. I would very much... Oh, with real pot. I would very much recommend watching other people do Bombless Scaldera and trying to steal their timing on when to roll a bomb down, because if you throw the bomb, it's gonna eat a little too much of its momentum, and you're not going to be able to get the bomb down to Scaldera in time. You want to time rolling the bomb.
That's gonna send Whale back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be really careful on riding the ball. It's very easy to accidentally jump off.
So, to answer the question in chat, how is it that you can soft lock try and do bombless Scaldera? So, Scaldera has 2 phases. The first one, he will follow you to the top of the stage if you are at the top of the stage. And at the top of the stage, there are bombs that you can throw into his mouth. This is very convenient because if you want to feed him a bomb, you just lead him to the top of the stage, throw bomb in mouth, and you're good. After he phase transitions, after he becomes Scaldy Longlegs, he's not going to come to the top of the stage anymore. He's just never going to do it. He wants to stay at the bottom of the stage. Every time he goes to the top, he's not going to do a suck in. He's going to roll down at you and try to squish you with his orb self. And if you don't sort of manipulate how you are dealing damage to him, that is just a soft lock because you don't have bombs to feed into his mouth and there are no bomb flowers at the bottom of the stage. However, if you time your damage correctly, you can basically make it so that the timer that tells Scaldera when to become invulnerable again never runs out. And if it doesn't run out, then neat. You're good.
Did FeatherBlade forget to get the rupee at the end of...
Maybe
Skyview?
She thinks she forgot it.
Or did she not mark...
I think she's just double checking at the moment. Yeah, no, we were just double checking.
Yeah, she is...
She might have mismarked something. She didn't ever get Colin's letter, so I think she just needs to go do a shred. It's Colin's letter to get claw shots to get Amber Tablet, so I think it's just she needs to go get item on Tree Root. It's Colin's letter. Turn that in, get her claw shots, get unstuck.
Why did she miss Colin's letter?
I think she just ran by it by accident, probably, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Omelette Scaldera is, scary and complicated fun. I like it. Did she pick up the letter and not track it? Or I'm gonna assume no, because...
Yeah, she's down to, I don't know how many locations remaining.
Okay, you're about to see the letter. The letter!
Yeah, she very well might have just run past it.
I think from a distance she might have just seen the color and thought that it was like a silver rupee or something like that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because
yeah,
we know that kind of leads
rough.
on our path to our Amber Tablet.
Yeah. That is an unfortunate mistake to make. It happens. It's Randomizer. Rando,
3
gonna
locations
rando.
remaining. Yeah.
Oh, she does have information. A letter is needed.
Yeah, it is 100% required to beat the seed
Yeah.
because it locks the claw shots.
Yep. So the sword in Floria is put in logic by having Water Dragon Scale. So that now is logical for whale fins to go and pick up. But you can get it out of logic by doing a trick jump to get into the back of Floria early, and it gives you a couple of Floria checks. And one of them happens to be a sword this seed. It also lets you ping out of logic another check that is hard locked behind scale. And that was also pinging. So I am curious to see what Whale finds in Floria now that she has access to it. I am hoping for double sword. It would just be really funny. Double sword. Very nice Scaldera on Whalefin's side.
Yeah, essentially, so you can do kind of the fence hop to get into Lake Floria backwards out of logic.
I don't know that counts as a gutter ball. Personally, I count it as a gutter ball when Scaldera hops over the side of the arena and gets in the sauce. It's my favorite type of gutter ball. I wish I was consistent enough at Sideways Scaldera to just, like, enter a race just to do Sideways Scaldera in a race. It would be very funny. If anyone's unaware, you can softlock Scaldera by moving in a certain direction during his phase transition. He can fling himself out of the arena and into the lava, but if he has no armor remaining, you can do a Skyward strike from the bottom of the stage to hit him as he's trying to crawl in bounds, and it flips his animation sideways and lets you finish the fight. It circumnavigates that soft lock. It's not fast, it's really, really slow, actually, and you have to set up for it, so it's not a good backup strat, but it's very funny. This has been my only... Alright, now FeatherBlade is out of the bottleneck, sort of. At least she's on her way to be out of the bottleneck. I have to go pick up that amber tablet, and then we have access to a lot, but it seems we're going to do some of our Skyloft checks first, which isn't a bad idea. I believe that what you're looking for in a Zelda game that plays like Elden Ring or a Souls-like is actually a released game called Tunic.
I have not played Tunic, but I've heard...
I was told, it's a Zelda game! And then I played it, and I was like, this is a Souls-like, and I don't like it.
So I guess Whale is now gonna go do the bomb-locked things.
I don't particularly dislike Tunic. I'm just very neutral towards it. Alright, let's see what was locked by bombs. Would you go bomb-locked pings first, or the Floria track first?
I mean, I probably would have done Floria first, only because you don't have to go back to Farron again. Like, I would have done Floria and probably ended in Sealed Grounds, just grabbed a statue, and then come back to Linearu, because you're at the point where, I don't know, from my perspective, you often just want to minimize flying.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's a route in Whale's position where essentially you finish everything in Farron, and then once you do that, you basically stay in Linearu the rest of the seed.
Personally, we like to say it's best to try to play to full clear. Assume that you're going to have to do all of the checks. That being said, personally, I think I would have also done Floria first, because the checks are much closer together. And while we do know you have some, like, at least one ping in the back of Fire Node, it's very isolated, it's very far away, and there's a lot of travel time involved. So, personally, I probably would have done Floria first, just because of the check density. And then, like, gone back for Linearu if, I didn't find what I was looking for. Also, because you know you're gonna have to come back for Sand Sea, you can kind of chain it together.
Yeah,
we're
and
using
that's like I said,
beetle
that's kind
route
of.
here.
I think we have the same.
Yeah, two different sides of the same general coin. There's multiple ways to lock. Ooh, that's a sword.
Our,
So
our sword bet is going to be close.
yeah,
well, thinking about how to get out of here, and death warping
Yeah.
definitely faster with 2.5 hearts. With more, it might not be.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, if Cave's Key happens to be in Fire Node, that's nice for Whale, but
Yeah.
yeah, we now, at this point, the only item we're missing is Cave's Key. And
Yeah.
I don't know,
There
maybe
is
this is
also-
wrong of me, but like I see that Linear Desert to Tantalus, and I'm like, okay, I got scale here.
Yeah.
That probably means, more likely than not, scale is locking our Cave's Key.
It could
'Cause
also
that's the
be a
only item.
direct hint that it could be Cave's Key is in Fire Node, but you do have an equal chance that anything locked by something that was locked by Linear Desert is going to be your Cave's Key, potentially. So it's kind of not inherently more valuable than Floria. Floria has just been added to the pool. And we have FeatherBlade going to get her Amber Tablet, her hard-fought Amber Tablet. There is also, to point out, we do have Master Sword required in these settings, which is not true Master Sword required. There is another sword that we do not need. It does not matter which sword you choose to get. Oops. I don't think that went as intended for Whalefins. Got that back. Her Skyward Strike went through an Ampelus and hit the crystal behind it, which is not what she was looking for. I think she was looking to ride the Ampelus across.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
where the Ampelus is kind of an
Oh,
awkward
very
spot.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and this is ammo, definitely something you have to pay attention.
Yeah. We do also, if you've seen other SSR matches or rando seeds in general, that there is a way to get across without using an Ampelus for a bus ride. However, it does not actually save that much time for the amount of people who do it. It's pretty small in terms of time save optimally, and oh, that Boko went the floor. Goodbye. It's a pretty long break slide, so it's definitely valid to just go, no, not feeling it today. You know what? No thanks. We're good. Alright, what is at back of Fire Node?
If it's Cave's Key, Whale is very happy. If it is Gratitude Crystal, she is a little sad.
It was Cave's
Okay.
Key! Oh, there's another one.
Well,
It's a bottle!
so yeah, now, I mean, Whale's route here is pretty linear at this point. I think she's
Yes.
gonna go clear Sandship, clear
Yeah.
Sandsea, then go to Lake Floria. If she runs into a sword before, that's great, but this is, I mean, I think this is pretty clearly Whale's race.
At the moment, yeah. Unfortunately, FeatherBlade did have a bit of a hold-up earlier in terms of missing the unfortunately all-important piece of paper. Darn single piece of paper sitting on a tree root for not being particularly visible. But yeah, again, as I was saying earlier, there is an extra sword somewhere. So while we know where Master Sword is in the seed, we don't know where that last sword is. So that could be a benefit to honestly either runner if you find that other sword in someplace more convenient.
Yeah, I mean, I do think
That
FeatherBlade is more likely to come across the sword sooner, but she's kind of got a ways to go until she gets
yeah.
to the bomb bag. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just something where Whale did not turn in Life Tree Fruit, interestingly.
Ooh. Was Life Tree Fruit anything?
We haven't seen it, I don't think.
Oh, right. You're so right. Yeah. Yeah, so if Whale finds our extra sword somewhere in Sandsea, that might let her skip Floria. And oh, there's magma mitts.
Which
Spicy.
at most are gonna lock a sword, and
yeah.
I'm gonna put a stake in this. There is no way Whale goes to Upper Boca Base.
If she does,
Zero
I'd be
chance.
very surprised.
She will do Floria first. But yeah, Whale is one sword from go mode at this point. We know where all the items FeatherBlade needs are, but she is decently far behind.
Yeah, Upper Boko Base is not actually that slow. When we're talking about inside Upper Boko Base, it is 4 relatively quick checks with a kind of straight shot through to get to them because there are no pings outside. So it's not a terrible place to go. It just is, like, while it's a straight shot, that is travel time that you could be spending getting checks, you know? It's not particularly on the way. It's not as bad as it could be if there had been pings in, like, outside Upper Boko Base. Yola Bugnet. But outside Upper Boko Base is horrendously slow. You're waiting on platform cycles. It's just not a fun time in a race. We hate seeing required checks over there, but lucky for us, there is actually 0% chance of anybody needing that. Because they were pinging dead. Maybe one of them might be a wooden shield. We do also see Whale here is just rushing for the sand ship, which definitely the play to go with at the moment, because sand ship was not hinted barren, meaning there's a very low likelihood that there's nothing in it that could have one of her swords, and we have to beat it anyway, so let's get it out of the way.
Oh yeah, she also needs to get some arrow refills.
Gonna
I'm
assume
guessing
we're
Whale
not
just-
gonna see masts.
Yeah, she didn't douse the stern yet. She
Yeah,
probably
no,
will
we're just
after
going.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple forms of mass skip, but again, you
Yep.
kind of have to know how to do them. If you don't, they can lose you time. Although I learned you can warp to start to do mass skip.
Really?
The last race
That's-
I did. Yes.
That's also cute.
Which was viable
makes
because
sense.
your spawn was in that seed was Skipper's Retreat.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Personally, I would still probably go with the newest version of Mass Skip over Warping to Start. But that is a very cute interaction. It's one of those funny things, like, you can warp to start to skip obtaining soup. That, like, maybe once in a great while it'll be the option of choice, and, you'll be like, hee hee, I skipped text. I do worry a little bit for Whale's arrow count, but we did pick up the ones that we shot there, which is good. A lot of runners will do arrow shots for some of the Bokos, but not all of them, because if you miss too many arrow shots, you're a little bit stuck. You gotta kind of restart the trek part, but it seems like we're good. We're good. We got arrows beforehand. We're prepared. But yeah, you can essentially skip all of that section. Granted that the stern check is dead, which we don't know at the moment. I don't think Whale pinged it at all. Maybe? Question mark?
I don't know if she did.
She's going over there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't lose much by going over here.
Yeah.
And it does have something.
Yep.
So it doesn't have to do this trick, but you can side hop here. This is the one check in the dungeon that will always logically require claw shots to get to.
And it was a
And
sand
that
chip
is actually a
small
really
key.
nice thing to get here. Because, so what Whale's going to be able to do here is she can go inside the bow, save, and check the boss key chest. And then if it has nothing, save scum the key. So she can check both key locked things. Interestingly, we never did see... It's pretty likely that we have a sometimes hint for 2 of the checks here.
Trying to figure out what... I think FeatherBlade may have just run in the wrong direction by accident.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because you can just sprint across the path that FeatherBlade is taking. Oh, I think she's considering using Hook Beetle to knock down one of the other statues to make the run shorter. You can just outright sprint that gap that she was trying to stutter sprint across, and she was trying to stutter sprint it, but I think was a little bit too aggressive about it, and it wasn't like not enough time was spent with Link running, because if Link is not running, he's gonna start sinking. So a stutter sprint across quicksand is usually kind of a little bit of a balancing act between you want to be running enough that Link isn't sinking too much, but not running enough that you have still stamina to work with. Those keys suck. So does that spume?
Yeah, stutter sprinting in sand, like you said, is just... It's a lot trickier than anywhere else.
Thank you for killing that spume. I don't like that spume. Oh, there's a sword.
So Whale is in go mode now.
Yeah,
All
that
she
actually...
has to do is find the boss key here.
Yeah,
Basically...
personally, given that she has the key, I would rush the treasure room checks in the hopes that our boss key is not stuck in the treasure room, because you might be able to skip that.
I didn't see what was below, but she may also just do this to be able to death warp.
Yeah, I think
here.
she's probably grabbing, the save statue.
Yeah.
Oh no, just kidding. Just we're getting a better ping perspective. We still haven't seen the small key locked sections. Those might have our boss key as well. Because the unfortunate thing about the small key locked sections in Sandship specifically is that neither of them ping from anywhere outside of having already used the small key. One of them is you cannot find out if it was useful or not until you finish the entire Skirvo fight, which is slow. I really hope you don't need to do that. And the other one, you have to use the key to enter another loading zone. Which, that's the one that I would personally, I know it seems we are... No, we're probably just turning the ship back on. But that's the one that I personally would put first, because it's very quick to save, enter the loading zone, ping the chest. If it's not pinging, you just boop the reset button, call it a day, go back and consider your other options, whether you want to do Skirbo or whether you want to do Treasure Room, because we did have at least one ping in Treasure Room.
Yeah, this is... So, the reason I suggested that she saves gun that key is it just would have been a little faster if the Skirbo chest had something.
Yeah.
Potentially, if that is your boss key, it saves you time to have to go get the second small key, which could be on kind of what is the worst check in this dungeon.
Yeah, and one of the rough things about Sandship in particular is that we did see a ping in Treasure Room. There's the War Dragon scale for FeatherBlade, very nice. But we did see that ping in Treasure Room. However, there are 2 small keys in the dungeon, and that means that the small key is going to be very likely to be eating up that Treasure Room ping, because there's very limited locations that the small keys can be in. Also, shoutouts to FeatherBlade for being a prepared gamer and using the beetle to pick up the rupees on top of the cage for Caged Robot. Those rupees have collision that interrupts your bomb beetle. Like, your bomb beetle will bonk into it. That was fun to say. And it'll drop your bomb, and it's very inconvenient. So, yeah, we don't like those. They're really annoying to ignore. And there's our mighty Scattershot.
Yes, at the King's Pride.
Let's go mighty mode. Golden, is a single loose gratitude crystal your favorite single item in Skyward Sword Randomizer?
Huh. I'm a fan of the whip.
Just the whip?
Because you learn that the whip is the most effective weapon against Geas.
It sure is. It's hilariously effective. Alright, let's see Treasure Room. Is it gonna be Is it gonna be BK? There we go.
Alright, so at this point, Whale is probably in the 12-ish minute range from finishing.
Probably a little bit more than that, just because Tantalus is very
Tantalus, yeah.
long.
Once
but
she
she
finishes
does have...
Tantalus, it's 5 minutes. It's...
Yeah.
I'm not a good judge of how long the Tantalus fight takes.
She does have a very clear path to the end. It also depends on, like, if you're a bit fiend, then one of the perks of Whale's situation is that you could do Tantalus skip, which would save 2 minutes. But you have had to set up for it ahead of time a little bit, and also it's pretty involved. But Tantalus skip is not often seen in race settings because it deletes a check permanently. I do not think that Whalefins knows Tantalus skip, at least comfortably. She doesn't do a lot of bit in her runs, so I would be very surprised. She also does not have a bit magic file, which would be required to do that. You would need a Skyloft bit magic file in order to get into Betro and back in time. But it is very involved. It's one of those things that, like, it's niche and, like, meticulous, so a lot of people do not think it is worth the effort, which is very valid. But sometimes it's cool. Hear me out.
I'm not going to dispute that. Tantalus skip is not a trick I ever bothered learning. Just kind of on the flossy, like, it's a pretty niche trick.
Yeah.
In the old days, the heart container used to be a sometimes hit.
Yeah.
which made Tantalus skip more likely. But
Yeah. But now it's just, if you are finishing Sand Ship in Go mode, as is the current situation, it saves a bit of time. But it is very niche. And it is one of those things that, like, if you explain to somebody how to do Tantalus skip, just, like, explain the chain of inputs, they're gonna look at you and go, I'm sorry, what? But if you have a base understanding of, like, exactly what you're doing in bit, it's not that complicated. It's just like, oh, okay, there's only, like, 3 instructions. But that assumes that you have the time, energy, and patience with comp sci to sit around learning how the internal workings of back in time works, and that's not a given. That's not everyone's cup of tea. You can also just really get good at Tantalus, and that'll probably pay off more often if you have limited time to learn your speed game. Well, we are gonna see what the other ping was in Floria. It's not gonna be a sword. I'm very sad about it. FeatherBlade, please tell me what this ping was. I'm dying.
We'll probably see all of Floria from FeatherBlade. It's gonna be
I want it to be Fire Shield earrings. It was Fire Shield earrings! I don't know how well the timing lined up on stream, but on my end, it was like literally a split second before they were showing.
It also was for me, so we'll hear from viewers.
Chat, tell me if I sound crazy or not. It was perfect. Oh, let's go.
It was perfect.
Wonderful. Yes, Whalefins is very comfortably ahead. Once again, FeatherBlade did have quite the setback in terms of just missed a check earlier, which just happened to be the important one. Of course it did. That always happens, right?
Yeah,
you miss one check out of 12, and that's the only one that mattered.
I would say, in general, too, like, Whale definitely had the advantage.
Advantage, which, you know, isn't everything in Randomizer, but it's also definitely not nothing. Like, let's give a shout out for.
This is a very, like, execution heavy Randomizer, where just knowing how to do things quickly and get around and kind of do faster strategies helps. Yeah, like FeatherBlade went for Boundless Caldera, which is a pretty advanced trick, and if she had gotten it, it would have been really good. But that set her back a fair amount.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this FeatherBlade's first time in a tournament?
She did the qualifiers for season 3, but did not qualify for the top 16.
Oh, so this is our first FeatherBlade in tournament.
I think she was in co-op season 2. I want to say she. And
I meant solo tournament, but
I forget now. But yeah, I think she was in that tournament.
Maybe the co-op queen. Not counting the co-op tournament. Don't worry about it. But it seems that Floria, quite predictably, based on all the other information we had, was pretty dead. That being said, the Frokes are being so mean.
Yeah, I think FeatherBlade is trying to die in here and work.
No, she's trying to wait for a Froke to respawn.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that is true.
She has the crystals to get her bomb bag now.
She can go get her bomb bag. Now we're dying. Now we're dying. What a wild seed.
Yeah. This was, like, I will say, like, 75% of the time, the logic in this randomizer is not too complex or complicated. And every so often, you just get a weird one.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was a weird one.
This is also one of those ones where, like, I can say from the perspective of a commentator that, like, we could be like, oh, those claw shots were pointing towards our gratitude crystals that were on, like, item in Bird's Nest and stuff in Lanayru in order to hit bat 40 logically. But from the point of view of a runner, when you're trying to worry about your execution and, like, less concerned about the big picture and more concerned about, okay, where am I going right now? I need to know what direction to steer my bird. It's one of those cases where you kind of, like, get to a certain point and you go, I don't know what logic is up to, but, like, I'm just gonna go do checks, man. Just super fair. And we do have, Whalefins on her way to Gauntlet now, having completed all of our dungeons. What do you think? Can we eke it in under sub 2? I'm gonna say that this is probably gonna be like a 201 or something like that. Like,
I have seen the time because I'm in the race time chat and they're on 10-minute delay. So I'm not gonna say what the time is gonna be.
Colton's got spoilers.
I know. I'm the restreamer, so I have to be...
You gotta be a
I mean, I also have the spoiler of checking the hints right after the
Yeah. Oh! The lower chest here, the vines to get to the lower chest, kind of suck. And there's a trick to, you can drop directly from the upper layer to the lower layer, but the spacing for it, where you can make that jump, is very, very specific. It's quite annoyingly persnickety, and also it does not work for some reason if Link has scooted to the left or right. So you have to find your spot without being able to see the platform below you, because we don't have free cam, and then, like, drop down onto so that Link is hanging from the ledge, and then immediately, like, drop down to the lower ledge. That got his chest, my dude. Did we see East Island?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
it's not pinging.
I don't think Whale ever went into Thunderhead.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't know if FeatherBlade is gonna... Yeah, I mean, so we're looking at Whale's tracker, and Whale is at 155 locations checked, 34 accessible, 49 remaining. This I feel like is a jet seed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
this is one of those
the thing about
seeds-
jet seeds is you have to catch the jet.
Yeah, you have to catch your flight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. That's always how it works.
A little struggle on the first part of Phase 2.
I do always find
Spearing Phase 2 is where your motion controls just all of a sudden stop working.
Yep. Uh-huh. Aizen 80%.
They're well calibrated, and then all of a sudden...
Mm-hmm. You're on PB pace and suddenly you can't hold a sword in the air. This is also one of those ones where I have no idea what's going on sometimes with Girahim 3 Phase 2 because I've never done Girahim 3 Phase 2 with shield strats.
That's fair. I have pretty much only done it with shield strats. The first time I started playing the randomizer, I would buy a shield before I started racing.
Technically, yeah, technically, optimally, you are supposed to do, this assumes that you know how to do the fastest strats. You do Phase 2 without a shield, and then put on your shield for Phase 3, if you have one. And I only just started bothering to put on my shield because I was so used to doing it without a shield. Oh, my toxic traits. You're
I don't
checking
know
our
if I call it
hint.
content.
Being set in my ways.
That is, yeah, our junk water dragon rule. There are a fair number of hints we just never saw this seed.
Yeah.
Um,
I would like to say one more time, I do love FeatherBlade's bird. The white looks really good. Alright, demise. Ooh,
That is
eked it in
GG.
before the 2-hour mark. GG's.
yeah, very solid win from Whale, and we're going to pull them in for an interview.
Hello, runners!
Hello.
Hello.
How do you feel?
Yeah,
GG's to Whale.
thank you. GG's to you too.
Uh,
Once I kind of started piecing together what I was supposed to do, I was like, oh no.
I was completely
no.
lost. So tell me, please tell me that the path to the bomb bag was as convoluted as I made it. Lie to me
It
if you
sure
have to.
was. It
It
sure
was.
no. We were literally talking about this right at the end of the seed, that the path to the bomb bag was picking up Colin's letter
Mhm.
to go deliver it for claw shots, to use claw shots to get gratitude crystals. It was on that
Because-
40.
Yeah, all
Ah,
basically getting to 40 gratitude crystals is hard locked behind the claw shots in
Yup.
nice.
several different places. Linear
There
Desert,
was no
where the
single
Amber
path.
Tablet was, Item in Bird's Nest. There were just a bunch
Yeah.
of places. But we were sitting, and, like, you'll hear us, we're thinking, like, okay, Whale picked up Colin's letter and basically immediately went up to go turn it in. And then we're kind of sitting waiting, and it's like, you know, Betrayal wasn't barren, Gratitude Crystals weren't barren, and 5, 10, 30 claw shots, they locked Amber Tablet's gonna be desert, and then Whale goes and checks Pat 40.
Yeah.
nice.
I had spent time doing that, doing loose crystals, and I was so mad. I was like, if he doesn't have something on 40, I mostly did it out of spite, you know?
And that, honestly, sometimes spite pays off. Let's be real.
Apparently it does.
Sometimes it just works. But yes, very much GG's on a very wacky seed. GG's on the sub 2 hours by, was that 34 seconds?
Thank you.
Absolutely nice.
Thank you.
Do you have any other thoughts about the seed?
I felt very bullied by all the pyre-ups in Eldon.
They were rude.
They were really
They were
rude,
very.
yeah.
I felt bullied on your behalf for the spume in mines.
Yeah, that was a really rude one.
Like, you got through the keys that were also being bullies, you turn around to kill the keys, and then the spume goes, no.
Oh,
I did want to ask also, FeatherBlade, you went for Gomless Scaldera.
yes,
How-
that was a moment of temporary insanity. I've never tried it. I don't know it. I decided to YOLO it. It was a bad decision.
Fair enough, it is a very hard trick to YOLO. It's very much it rewards you for knowing exactly what you're doing, and that is just makes it a hard YOLO.
Yeah.
But I give you a GG's for your moment of temporary insanity for having the goal to go for it.
If you had gotten
power
it,
move.
I think it would have been really impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What popped up for that?
If you listen back, Pippi has suggestions, and she's also Pippi
I'm
generally
also-
is good at this. So if you want help,
I am
she's
always
pretty
available
willing to
for
help.
help.
I will definitely listen back to those suggestions and, you know, actually practice it before I try it in a run.
Yeah, it was very interesting in general because I think like, neither of you went for a very, like, bit heavy or out of logic heavy play style that we kind of were trying to follow this very convoluted logic, and neither of you went for it. You could have out of logic tried to clear Earth Temple within, like, the first, what was it, like 15 minutes the seed?
Yeah.
Which, like, I would be very curious if that play would have paid off for anyone to try to skip bombs like that, which, obviously knowing the locations of some of the later items, you wouldn't have been able to skip bombs entirely. But we got to see the grapple with the logic instead.
Yeah, I feel that my determination to find bombs is what ended up helping me in the end, and I feel that if I had done out of logic Earth Temple, I wouldn't have been so determined to find bombs. Also, I don't know bombless. I tried it like once, and I was like, I'm.
It's not a strategy you want to YOLO.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's definitely one that you want to get the vanilla Skyward Sword and get the practice ROM and
Yeah.
play around with.
No, for sure.
Imagine having a practice ROM.
Well, not everyone is like you, Pibby.
I know, you're saying I'm crazy. I got it.
I didn't
No.
say that.
I'm
I suppose
aware.
I could have tried Bit, except I don't know any of it, so that wasn't ever an option for me.
Yeah, if you're watching a restream with FeatherBlade and I, you're probably not going to see Bit.
It does make for, it's one of the reasons why I personally enjoy doing commentary for all different playstyles and all different skill levels, because you get to see, because you're not watching the bit tricks, you get to see people optimize a lot of things that you might not otherwise get to see, if you're just worried about what your title screen is doing.
True.
But yeah, any other
thoughts
about the race?
Not
That's
really, no.
the final race for you two.
That's correct.
Yeah. We mentioned this at the beginning, obviously, that. But how did you feel about the tournament?
It was a fun time. Yeah, you know, I happy to have been in it, and proud of everyone who participated and everyone who's moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, same. It's always fun to be a part of something like this, and it's good experience. It's good fun.
Mhm.
I'm glad you both enjoyed, and thank you so much for joining the tournament and for coming to hang with us. And that I told somebody yesterday that I was commentating this match, and they asked who the racers were, and I told them, and they were like, "Oh, girl power," and I was like,
Yeah. That's what I was
does.
saying.
It does warm my heart a little bit to have more femme representation in the Skyward Sword randomizer community and in randomizer communities in general, just because it is traditionally unexpected, quote unquote. But like, I think y'all did great, and I was really happy to have y'all.
Thank you.
It's the internet. Nobody can tell if you're a dog.
It's so true.
I don't have anything else. So I think with that, we will wrap up the stream. GG's to Whale, and thanks to FeatherBlade as well. Obviously, you do not have to be on Restream. Huge thanks to Lata Shimaka for double tracking this race, making us look a lot smarter because we see what items you have. And thanks to Pippi for commentating. We have another race tomorrow night. I don't know if we'll have a restream for it at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then, let me check.
Who's racing tomorrow?
KitKat and Vibrant Viola. A
Okay,
couple
yeah.
races Wednesday, again, not sure about restream. And then Saturday, so keep an eye out. I know there's a lot more Ocarina of Time qualifiers, Zelda 2R, so just pay attention. But I think this is it for tonight. We're going to go raid another Skyward Sword player, Your Average Link, who's doing some vanilla speedruns. So thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good Sunday night, and stay safe if you are in the US.
Thanks, everybody.
Stay warm.